each one of you ability, number one, to give general remarks from the two presentations that have been made, both by my friends Geoffrey and Mukurumuzi Ecotourism Club and Venture. If you think we need to modify this, if you think this is a total waste of it's not the best, we shouldn't even consider this. If you think it can be made better, if you think it can be made better, can you please your general remarks?
Yeah, okay. I'm seeing a replication of Vipingo Reach. Yeah. Vipingo, or the Reach, was a sparsely settled place, composed, of course, a series of hills that one prominent Kenyan flew over and saw a business opportunity over the Reach. So this is similar to what Uma is seeing with Best Italian's land. Is it Best Italian's land, or leased land, or bought land, or public land? Yeah. And it's a mega vision. It's a well thought of project, holistically trying to take consideration of many factors, including environmental sustainability, the current discussion on circular economy, and so on and so forth. But above all, pesa mashinani. I think whatever I was saying at the end of it all is sisi tunapata pesa. Yeah, that economic empowerment from a public land. Youth empowerment, you put it like the core issue here. And the people who will be running the shops or running the business. Because you started by saying the youth need to be empowered. There'll be the tour guides, there'll be the researchers or the research assistants. They'll be taking part in the rehabilitation and so on and so forth. So taking the youth empowerment to a second level. Again, this is taking that local content concept to a much higher note. And as I already said in the morning, the youth are great thinkers. Given the opportunity, given the resources, given the platform. So you think of a major a project somewhere in a public land over 42,000 hectares. I think this is a recommendable thinking. And if you look at the tourism attractions that have been mentioned, which will be anchored at the Nkurumudze ecotourism and what adventure, a camp tourism destination. I think they cover almost every part of the economy. And that again is something that is really good and well thought of. Now, you may need to, maybe like a suggestion, you may think of other environmental sustainability issues. This is as far as funding for environmental engagements. How will you get that money to fund this project and to sustain these projects? Have you ever thought of the other side, the environmental pollution as a result of this, or environmental degradation as a result of this? All these, what you've come up here, they're actually getting so well with environmental sustainability, except probably the use of diesel-powered or petrol-powered motorcycles and so on, which can easily be eliminated and probably use the motorbikes. So that the concept captures the idea of environment and how it takes care of pollution, which will affect, of course, climate change and other issues. Now, if the concept is implemented as thought, then that can actually be a source of great funding. And I'm thinking of areas where you can capture things like the Global Climate Fund sources. Even at this stage, can be coined in a way that you can seek funding from the Global Climate Fund, which is huge amount of money, which KCB has gotten it. KCB has gotten big monies on this Global Climate Funding, which is actually expanding businesses in all fronts. So long as you'll be conducting a business that does not pollute the environment or does not encourage issues of climate change. You are talking of Nkomoze River, much so like seasonal and then intermittent kind of river. It disappears somewhere and then appears somewhere. So this river needs to have constant supply of water. So how do we do that? You may also consider catchment rehabilitation, catchment restoration. You need to go upstream, make sure that that area is not degraded at all costs, and you have your water throughout. If you don't take care of the catchment, then of course you run out of water at one point or the other. You also have an opportunity in what is actually now in the global arena, and that is moving forward with what we're calling the circular economy. Making use of processing the waste, or what we call waste now, into money. So the kind of waste that comes from, not only from beds, but also from the communities themselves, that can also be turned into a resource that still can channel in the money to these projects. So all in all, it's a well thought of concept. Let's lobby, advocate for it at all level, because it's not a small business, it's not a small project. And maybe with time you can sell out portions of this business. If I can come in and run the dam, yeah, and somebody else come in to run the biking sector, somebody else to come and run the restoration, but we are all under AIG or something else. And that's why I started by saying I think I'm seeing a replication of Vipingo. Even at the gate in Vipingo, you pay for that. Yeah, you pay. And that goes to Vipingo Ridge, something. If you want to buy land there, you don't just buy land because somebody is buying land, but you have to go through some people, and these some people will get money out of that. So maybe to improve on it, we move on that a kind of a business model that every sector of this tourism attraction can be a source of income on its own, either run by other private individuals or whichever kind of business model that you may think of. Otherwise, thank you very much and continue thinking.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yes, Madam.
Thank you very much, Ali. That is a fantastic presentation, a good eye-opener as to the thoughts that you have put forth as the youth and women of Kwale. I see a huge need for alignment of the concept of the whole area as opposed to going for piecemeal facilities or projects. What is the development agenda, for instance, at county government level for the area that must align with groups such as yours so that there is no overlap, and that the real gaps that the people of Kwale need filled by this development are met. So that is an area that I see there must be an alignment. I'm sure you've done a lot of research from destinations that have thrived from nothing to something, from bare land to a resort city, for instance, or a destination that has sports facilities, meetings facilities, it has even residential areas, and then the tourism attractions. So the bigger picture of the project is very important, and I look forward to participation or just to being able to see the bigger master plan of the whole area, because it is connected. There are areas that are not built, that were not mined, other areas were mined, so it must be seen wholesome like that, because it's public land, and public land must have a long term, for management, a program around it. You've done very well in identifying new experiences that don't exist in this region. So you're sorting out the seasonality gap. We all know the coastal region, known for the beach, is very seasonal. So with that product, it sorts out the seasonality gap where we can come in, whether it is high season or low season, because these are new attractions, very, very focused on adventure and health, lifestyles, and cultural engagement. And that is what today and tomorrow's tourists want. They want to be able to really connect with nature. As a convention bureau, our business is the meetings industry. This region doesn't have a big convention center, and a center that is state-of-the-art and unique to the region. There is an opportunity there, because this is public land, to engage and see what can a unique facility look like. It doesn't have to be roofs of, it can be a really, really unique convention center that is even aligned to the current issues that we are facing as a destination, and also globally. Climate issues, sustainability, waste management, and things like that. That will give the area that competitive edge. So there is lots of things that we can crystallize and follow up and be able to support you to really competitively develop an experience that will bring in the money to the people. Key is investors. Who is going to build all these things? Is it public, private? As UMA, do you have a plan for that? Who is in charge of that area? Because you don't want to start and then it's not working, and then there are gaps here and there. So I see an area where you will need support to work, to look for investors for this facility, because the theme is the theme of today. This is the theme of the future, where communities, rehabilitation, and conservation are coined in order to manage the destination positively. So thank you very much, and I look forward to further engagement, because I see great work that you have put in here, and also to share some examples of other places in the world where some destinations have emerged from nothing to something very, very competitive. Thank you.
Please,
Thank you very much, Ali and Madam PS, for inviting us for this very important conference. My name is Betty Chan. I work for the Kenya Tourism Board, which is a parastatal under the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. We are the custodians of the Magical Kenya brand. I'm sure most of you have seen it in various places, whether online or at an event. Now, our mandate as a tourism board is to market Kenya. We market Kenya locally, regionally, and internationally. Now, our role as a marketing agency has evolved over the years. We are not only involved in marketing, our role has evolved to management. When we talk about management, we're talking about product development, which is why we are really excited to be here today. And I'm really excited to see the new experiences that Ali has shared with us. And basically, we have recently, in the last 2 weeks, we launched a new collection of Magical Kenya signature experiences. Now, a signature experience is a unique and authentic experience that is aligned to the destination's brand promise. So this is an experience that goes through a process to ensure that it meets a certain standard that will appeal to our local and international visitors. So as KTB, we're excited to see that you have very exciting experiences, the adventure, the sports, the animal keeping, which at the end of the day, what we want to do is enrich the visitor experience. We have been told that we focus too much on the safari and the beach. So what other products can we showcase to be able to position Kenya as a unique destination and a destination that is offering value for money? So as KTB, we are ready and willing to support you in terms of packaging these products that you've shown us today. How can you package them so that they appeal to an international visitor? When you say sports tourism, what standards do you need to meet? What facilities do you need to have? You know? So at KTB, we'll work with you on this journey. We have a team in our office that is responsible just for product development, and we will connect you and give you the support that you need moving forward. So thank you very much, Ali.
Asante sana. Maybe we have from starting first.
Asante sana. My name is Salim Ayobe. I can't comment much because I'm part and parcel of this program. I'm also one of the directors of Kwale Economic Corporation. But I liked when Ali was doing the presentation, because whatever he mentioned, he says, na hapa tutapata pesa. Na hapa tutapata pesa. So whatever he's doing, he is focused on tutapata pesa. That one thing that I like is the creation of employment. Me ni mwanabiashara na chairman wa chamber. So I have seen that there is a lot of employment in that, the whole concept. So young men and women will get employment in that concept. That one, I like it. Ali, one thing you have not mentioned, because last week I was in Kisumu on benchmarking, and during lunch we were taken to the lake shore and we were eating fish direct from the lake. So we were at the pond. Why don't we create rare fish so that when you are there, you ask for fish, and then you go, this fish is just from these waters here, fresh from the waters. The other thing I liked is the concept of conservation. Because as we are doing that, we are also doing conservation. And yesterday I was at Malindi, and we were forming this Coast Conservation Association. So that could be part of the the coast conservation, that could be a member of the Coast Conservation Association, so that at least whatever benefit we're going to get from the Coast Conservation Association could also be helpful to the organization. I also liked the concept of recycling, because recycling could also be part of conservation. And also, the Taras mentioned of the Global Fund, this company have now called Oxygen. So that we could also ask the Oxygen to register us, so that, because we are conserving the environment and they are paying for conservation of the environment. So that could be part of that. And that is also, we have already formed another conservancy in Kwale, because Maluganje, I'm chairman Maluganje also. Maluganje is one of we were saying the only conservancy, local community conservancy in the county. But that would be another community conservancy within the county. Thank you.
Asante sana. Geoffrey, your remarks.
Okay, I get, maybe I understand why you wanted me to speak last. Anyway, just from a light note, I have a feeling that the feeling of you are almost dying and everyone is, what can I get from this dying person? Okay, there's one thing I just also wanted to correct. We have 42,000 acres, not hectares. Yeah, but just wishing that we actually reached the 42 hectares. Okay, just to mention something, this is a well thought of project, but as I said in my presentation, it might be just one of the post-mining land use that might be approved to take place. It's good that somebody also mentioned before that actually the land that we are mining on is not ours and it's public land. So we might not actually be in a position to actually say this is how we will want the land to be used. But Ali, like I've noticed, we have so many people around in this room that can help you champion for this project. So I won't say much, but just to say that at the end of it all, this is also from a light note, that when Bez is through with the mining, and I think he can be able to say too, that assuming we hand over this land, then it is used for something else. And bad luck that it actually doesn't work, people would be saying it's the second user who should be responsible for this. Everybody will be up in arms saying it must have been the people who mined earlier. So if we're actually going to start this project, and I'm also praying that it works, such that we have me included coming back and saying, I used to work here and now it's a tourist attraction, then we must have very good plans to make sure it doesn't fail. But at the moment, what we are looking at as post-mining land use, which includes some of the research that we are currently doing, including the agricultural business, which is currently being done on site by Kwale University. Like I said, one of the options will be the ecotourism, also giving the land to be used as a training facility. I would say it's not a decision yet made, and it will just be part of the proposals we can be able to give to the government when we are handing over their land, and say of all the proposals that we've got, you can consider this, and this. So it will be up to them to decide. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana Geoffrey. I will give the regional mining officer to give his remarks later. But there's a hand somewhere lifted. Maybe we can hear that voice. The microphone. Somebody please assist with microphone behind there.
Hi everybody, my name is Peter Mushara from Nairobi Tourism and Culture Department. I just wanted to put some pointers adding on
thank you, Madini. I just want also just to give a congratulatory note on the presentation. But what I want to make clear here, we have processes, because somebody was talking about, we have when the project is starting, is in the process, then the commissioning. What happens after the commissioning? In the case of a mine life ending today, the company will not take that land and hand over to the county government. The company will hand over all the assets to the parent ministry, which is Ministry of Petroleum and Mining. And then, incorporated with other stakeholders now, they will decide now the land use. And that's why now for your case, as I said yesterday, you are much far ahead. Let us take a scenario here. You are coming up with a very good concept, as Dr. said. And maybe the county is also eyeing it for a different purpose. Don't you think your competitors now the two of you? That's why we have processes of dealing with the land after mining. Therefore, whoever said the land, all the assets, movable and immovable, once they are done, they will be in the ministry's custodian. That one, is a clarification of that one. Otherwise, what I also want to say, with the same concept, I've seen such assets, you can also introduce something for the memorable of the site where you are putting that. In other areas, they use geotourism sites. But what if you wanted geo-ecotourism? Because it reminds somebody somewhere, even in Australia, when he's thinking of coming to Kwale, he knows once our people are down there. So it means these people are still appreciating us. It's just a matter of repackaging, isn't it? Then on the side of agriculture, I mentioned something like the extractive sector. Some talked about it in caves down there. Like if you can borrow, you go to Shimon, you go to Fikirini. Fikirini will have good caves, but you know they are also very close. But what do you find there? Natural aquan, that's what we call aqua minerals. Ukienda kule chini, watu wanatumia hiyo, hawanunui mbolea. Like what the director from Kitui has told us. So we have the resources. Like when you want to do the agriculture, the sukuma wiki and the rest, you can see also okay. So you can do that, and then you repackage, and then you include those caves, isn't it? Then that's where you have protein your products, and and again, in your neighboring Nyamala down there, we have that hot spring. And you also bring it in. Eh? When you do like that, at least you are just trying to enumerate the concept. Otherwise, I don't have much to say because I was seniors here. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, Bwana Regional Mining Officer. I want to invite the PS